today I'm going to talk about the key factors for the blockbuster. So we face 100 new films every year, and every studio do everything that could attract the attention of the audience, and they might describe their movies is by far the most worthy to be seen. But I'm gonna start with the story. Last year, I was a CP student, and John is my reading teacher. One day, he was highly recommended a movie. He told us, you got to see this movie because this is the best movie I've ever seen. So, what's that movie? It's Gravity. Gravity is a real blockbuster. So I'm gonna talk about what is a blockbuster. This is my first part. And the second part, I'm gonna talk about why blockbuster attract us. What's the magic power that blockbuster have? And then I'm gonna focus on how to make a successful blockbuster. This is also the topic of my research paper. In the past, the blockbuster is first used to describe the heavy bomb that was dropped on the ground by the Allies forces in the Second World War, but we are not in the war anymore. So, the blockbuster now to describe as a category of the popular American movie for decades. The first blockbuster was Jaws, which directed by the Steven Spielberg. It was released on the summer. Then the bunch of blockbusters are released, such as the King Kong. Even those animated film are counting the blockbusters real. So what are the commonalities of these blockbusters of these movies? The first is also the most important element is money. The studio invest outsized money to make this movie. This money is for inviting the celebrities, inviting the stars, or advancing the technologies. So, how to make a successful blockbuster? There are three reasons. One is the studio must know the preference of audience, and although they have elaborate marketing strategy, and then they develop the technology. So let's move on to the first part. We both know the majority consumer group of blockbusters are between the teenagers to the middle-aged people, because they are processing independent thinking, they are open-minded, and also the audience expectation. The audience expect the great storyline. They expect the stars, who those stars are mean to them. For example, I'm the huge fan of Bruno Mars. If he should act a movie, no matter how suck it is, I'm gonna buy the ticket to see that movie. And then the audience notice the special effects. Let's talk about the social experience. What is the social experience? Go back to the story I mentioned in the start. After John mentioned the Gravity, and then the next day, the whole class, we went to the theater to see the Gravity. Why? Because we want to discuss the experience. We want to share our opinion for this movie for the same thing. So, Summer, tell me the words or your first thought words.
Hot.
Hot.
Beach.
beach.
Bikini.
Yeah, bikini.
刚闪
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Sorry. And kids out of school and the blockbuster. The bunch of blockbusters are released in the summer. That is one of the marketing strategy. They both released in summer choice. So take Real for example. The studio produce some related products. For example, they create the collective cups and straws with the birds on it, and also they create they produce the key trees, some figures about this movie, and then the trailers and teasers. The studio gonna release 90 seconds trailers before the 2 months ago, and it plays as an advertisement before the release the movie. So let's move on to advanced technology. When the George Lucas shoot the Star Wars, the George Lucas draw some effect on the film to create the lightsaber in that stick. So quiet. And King Kong. They create the motion capture technology. This is Andy Serkis. He also acted the Gulu, means the Lord of the Ring. My precious. Yeah. Do you notice the dot stick his face? That's the dots can capture the subtle expressions and transfer the data to the computer-generated chimpanzee's face. They are combined together. In my opinion, I think Andy Serkis is a real kid without crown. Okay, George Cameron. Look at this camera. This is a 3D camera. There are two lens to create 3D effects in the after. This camera can mimic the parallax and imitate the movement of our eyeballs. So the method of collecting data, I use the JSTOR and the database and collected 7 or 8 articles and also the news on the newspaper. So in my conclusion part, I'm gonna use one sentence to summarize the blockbuster. It belongs anybody's list of good movies.